Shalom to all alumni of Sha'alvim and all those watching this video. This week is a very special and unique week at Yeshiva Sha'alvim, a very special Shabbos. We call Shabbos Preda the last Shabbos of the year and the last week in Yeshiva. And I think it's not a coincidence and even quite fitting that the last Shabbos in Yeshiva falls out on Shabbos Parsha Korach here in Eretz Yisrael. Parsha Korach contains a number of powerful and meaningful messages and ideas that I think connect very nicely with the yeshiva experience. And in this short Dvar Torah, I'd like to share with you one or two of these ideas. The Mishnah Maseches Avos that famously connects and relates to our Parsha identifies the Machlokes of Korach as the quintessential example of what the Mishnah calls a Machlokes Shelo L'Shem Shemayim, a Machlokes that's not for the sake of heaven. And the Mishnah contrasts this type of Machlokes with an additional Machlokes, the Machlokes that we're very familiar with in Yeshiva and the Beis Medrash, the Machlokes of Hillel and Shammai, what the Mishnah calls a Machlokes L'Shem Shemayim, for the sake of heaven. And the Mefarshim discuss what exactly the difference is between Machlokes L'Shem Shemayim and the Machlokes Shelo L'Shem Shemayim. And one of the suggestions is that a Machlokes Shelo L'Shem Shemayim, the Machlokes of Korach and his followers, was a Machlokes L'Shem Machlokes, a Machlokes with the goal of creating division, provoking, creating conflict and tension. That was Korach's goal. Korach's goal was to undermine the legitimacy of Moshe Rabbeinu and Aron HaKohen and their leadership through division, conflict, and Machlokes. On the other hand, the other type of Machlokes, the Machlokes we involve ourselves here in Yeshiva, the Machlokes and the model of Machlokes of Hillel and Shammai, the Machlokes L'Shem Shemayim has a much more elevated and higher goal. And the goal basically is to achieve and understand the objective truth, the Ratzon Hashem, that are underlying Ratzon Hashem in every single sugya we learn. When we sit and learn with our chavrusas, when we debate and discuss a Tosfos or a Rashba, we're not debating and arguing in order to argue. We're on a mutual quest. We have a common goal, and the goal is to understand the underlying Ratzon Hashem in every single sugya we learn, the objective truth. But the yeshiva experience is not only about learning, not only about advancing our Torah knowledge, it's also about refining our character, developing our potential, and creating new goals for ourselves. And this second idea connects to another part of the story of Korach towards the end, and that is the story of the Mateh of Aron, the staff of Aron HaKohen, and the budding staff that was placed in the Kodesh HaKodashim, the innermost room of the Mishkan, alongside the other matos of the other Shvatim, the other tribes. And when Moshe took out that staff, the Torah describes how the Mateh flourished and budded. And it says, Vini parach Mateh Aron Beis Levi, v'yatze perach, v'yatze tzitz, v'yigmol shkedim. And in explaining this pasuk, some Mefarshim suggest that really what was going on here was two things. Or there were two parts to the Mateh. On the one hand, on the one side, there was the fruit, the ripe fruit, the shkedim. And on the other side, there was the prachim, the pricha, the budding flowers. And the Mefarshim explain that these flowers, these fruits, have a symbolic meaning to them. And what they really mean is, or what they really symbolize is, the spiritual growth and achievement of Aron HaKohen specifically, and the whole Shevet Levi, the tribe of Levi that he was part of. But I think that, truthfully speaking, this is a real message for us in Yeshiva, that when we leave Yeshiva at the end of the year, we leave really with two things. We leave with ready, ripe fruit. We leave with our achievements. We've learned a lot of Torah. We've advanced our tefillah. We've advanced our character. We have real achievements. On the other hand, though, we come home with one more thing, alongside the achievements, the fruits, we come home with budding flowers, with potential. And with that potential, we can create in the future new achievements. We can tackle new goals. We can deal with new challenges. That is the budding flowers alongside the fruit that we take home with us at the end of the year. So I hope and pray that basically, as we leave yeshiva, we will continue, even afterwards, to develop in Torah, in Midos, in Tefillah, in all areas. Have a great Shabbos.
Good Shabbos, good Shabbos, good Shabbos.